The most important commodity in the artificial intelligence boom may not be oil, copper, electricity, or even GPU or CPU. It may be memory. In May 2026, the market capitalizations of Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix rose above $1 trillion for the first time, as investors bet the AI boom would lead to a sustained revaluation of the memory chip industry. The rally became so extreme that some funds holding Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix were forced to sell because their positions had grown too large under 10% single stock cap rules. This is the global ledger, where we follow the hidden machinery of money, powers, markets, and the institutions that shape the global economy. How did two South Korean memory giants become central players in the AI economy? And why did the stock market suddenly decide that old cyclical chip makers might deserve trillion-dollar valuations? For investors, memory chips have often been viewed through the lens of cyclicality, the kind of business that can boom when supply is tight and suffer when pricing turns. The old mental model was simple: supply, demand, pricing, capacity, repeat. By 2026, the market story was focused on three names at the center of the memory stock frenzy: Samsung Electronics, SK Hynix, and Micron Technology. Samsung entered this rally as one of South Korea's key chip makers, and its share price surge became important enough to trigger fund limit pressure alongside SK Hynix. SK Hynix became one of the clearest market symbols of the AI memory boom, with reports describing its surge as driven by demand from the artificial intelligence sector. Artificial intelligence did not merely increase demand for computing power. It also changed how investors thought about memory chip demand. Reports on Samsung and SK Hynix's rally tied the move directly to soaring AI-related demand, making memory one of the market's most important AI hardware themes. The market's message was clear. In the AI era, memory is not just a supporting component, it can become a bottleneck, a profit pool, and a strategic asset. That is why high bandwidth memory, HBM, moved from a specialist product to one of the most closely watched parts of the AI chip supply chain. The market began rewarding SK Hynix and Samsung Electronics as major beneficiaries of AI memory demand. SK Hynix and Samsung shares surged more than 280% and 150% respectively in 2026 so far. SK Hynix posted another quarter of record profits and revenue in 2026, driven by higher memory prices and strong AI-related demand. On the day SK Hynix crossed the $1 trillion threshold, Bloomberg reported that the stock rose 9.3% in South Korea. Other reports described SK Hynix shares soaring more than 12% that Wednesday, lifting the company into Asia's trillion-dollar valuation ranks shortly after Micron in the US reached the same milestone. The rally was not confined to SK Hynix. Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix both climbed so sharply that some funds were forced to sell as their single stock exposures hit 10% cap rules. That is one of the strangest features of a momentum melt-up. A fund can be right on the thesis and still be forced to reduce the position because the winner became too large. In modern markets, price does not only reflect earnings expectations, it can also reflect fund rules, portfolio concentration limits, and forced rebalancing pressure. The question investors began asking was simple: is this just another memory upcycle, or the beginning of a structural supercycle? Historically, investors have worried that memory booms can be followed by painful reversals when supply catches up. But the 2026 rally was driven by the belief that AI demand could support a more durable revaluation of the memory chip industry. When demand is strong and memory prices rise, investors may assign a scarcity premium to the suppliers best positioned for AI-related orders. In the market narrative, HBM is not treated like ordinary memory. It is treated as a higher value product tied directly to AI infrastructure demand. For investors, the key question becomes not only who can make memory, but who can supply the advanced memory demanded by AI customers. That is the deeper reason the market began treating memory less like a commodity and more like strategic AI infrastructure. Samsung's position is more complicated. It rallied alongside SK Hynix, but the intensity of SK Hynix's AI memory narrative forced investors to compare the two South Korean chip makers more closely. When a focused rival like SK Hynix captures the imagination of AI investors, a larger rival like Samsung must show it can compete for the same high-value memory opportunity. The recent rally showed investors were not only buying one company, they were buying the idea that South Korean memory suppliers were central to the AI supply chain story. In the AI age, Seoul's equity market became a key stage for the global memory chip revaluation. For investors, the crucial question is whether memory companies deserve old cyclical valuations or new infrastructure-style valuations. A stock can rise because earnings improve, but the explosive move comes when the market also changes the multiple it is willing to pay. Investors describe the rally as a bet that the AI boom would lead to a sustained revaluation of the memory chip industry. But every supercycle carries danger. Capacity can overshoot, customers can push back on pricing, competitors can catch up, and shocks can interrupt supply chains. The same momentum that helped push Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix into the trillion-dollar club could reverse if investors begin to doubt the durability of AI memory demand. The forced selling reported in Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix is a reminder that market structure can create pressure even during a bull market. Semiconductors are no longer just an industry. In the AI era, they are also a map of economic power. Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix give South Korea a central role in the AI memory investment story, because both companies were at the heart of the stock rally. As companies race to build AI capacity, suppliers linked to advanced memory demand sit at the intersection of technology, capital spending, and market strategy. That is why the Samsung and SK Hynix story is not merely a stock market story. It is a story about who captures the memory layer of the AI economy. So what are we watching? The birth of a memory supercycle, or the formation of another AI-driven asset bubble? The bull case is powerful. AI demand has driven Samsung and SK Hynix's rally. Memory prices have climbed, and investors have bet on a sustained revaluation of the industry. The bear case is familiar to anyone who has lived through cyclical markets. Supply can arrive, pricing can weaken, and investors can rediscover risk. To us, after more than 3 decades in global markets, we have learned this. The best investments often begin as structural truths, but the worst losses often begin when investors pay any price for them. Samsung and SK Hynix rose because the market began to treat memory as more than storage. It became one of the central investment themes of the AI boom. The trillion-dollar memory supercycle is really a story about scarcity, leverage, technology, and belief, the 4 forces that have always moved markets. And if you want to go deeper into the technical side of memory, DRAM, HBM, and the market dynamics, we've prepared a free document called Introduction to Memory Chips. You can find the link in the video description. If you want to understand the hidden financial machinery shaping markets, companies, and economies around the world, subscribe to the Global Ledger and tell us in the comments, are Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix entering a true memory supercycle? Or is the market already pricing in perfection? Until next time, follow the intelligence.